What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to meal prep delicious chicken, teriyaki, and rice bowls that are healthy, high in protein, and most importantly, delicious. If your goal is to lose weight and build muscle, having your meals ready for grab and go for every day of the week is a surefire way to guarantee your results. And although meal prepping might sound intimidating, I promise after this video, you're gonna have all the tips, tricks, and secrets needed to make meal prepping as easy as 1, 2, 3. And for all of my meal preps, healthy recipes, breakfast, lunch, dessert, all those recipes available at your fingertips, don't forget, you can grab a copy of my cookbook, which you'll find at the first link in the description box. Losing weight doesn't mean we gotta eat boring foods. We can make delicious foods that'll fit into our diet. We just gotta know how to do it. And with this book, you'll be meal prepping and eating like royalty. Plus, you get it one time, you get every future recipe I add to the book for free, so it keeps on growing along with the channel. If that sounds good to you, hit that link in my description to check it out. All right, ladies and gents, if y'all are ready to get another epic video underway, then as always, man, I'm here to do it for you. Let's do it! Yeah! Now, before we start actually prepping this food, we wanna make sure we have the containers necessary to store it. I don't recommend getting anything too expensive or too crazy. I literally just picked up 2 4-packs of these Rubbermaid meal prep containers at Kroger for $3.99 a piece. If you're using these every single week, it's gonna last you at least 6 months before they start getting a little funny. So don't worry, get some basic ones up from the store and you're gonna be just fine. So we're gonna sit these off to the side. And one of the biggest tips I can give you with meal prep is making sure that everything we're cooking, that we're doing it in such a fashion to where it's all kind of doing its thing at the same time. And we're not cooking one thing, letting it finish and starting the next. That is a surefire way to spend your entire Sunday in the kitchen. With this method, we should have all of these meals done and prepped in easily under an hour. So what we're gonna start with is a big pack of chicken breast. We need 4 pounds or 1,792 grams in total. So what we're gonna do with this is open her up and place our chicken breasts on a cutting board. And then now we're just gonna do some trimming. So with these chicken breasts, we're gonna look here, we're gonna see this fat around the outside. I wanna get rid of that. And when doing trimming, you can use a knife if you want, but I find the fastest, most efficient way to do it is just get some meat shears and get the job done. And then once the chicken breast is trimmed, it should look like this, pure chicken breast all the way around. Now what I wanna do is take the chicken breast and cut it up into little bite-sized pieces. This is gonna help us cook everything faster and help us divvy it out into the meal prep containers that much easier. I'm gonna get all this chicken trimmed, pieced up, and I'll be right back to show you the next step. So we got the chicken all diced up into bite-sized pieces. What we wanna do now is weigh it out to make sure all of our measurements are gonna be exact. So each meal needs 224 grams of chicken. So once again, we need 1,792 grams. I have a food scale right here. I'm just gonna go in, toss it in here in a bowl, and weigh it out until we hit the number we want. And with a few more pieces, 1,791. That is close enough for me. And since we got a whole thing of chicken, we're obviously not gonna use every single thing for weighing it out. So if you have any extra pieces, toss them in a Tupperware container. Then if you need them at a later date, you can fry them up in a skillet or do whatever you'd like. Now, the problem with chicken like this when you cook a lot of it in bulk is that as you start microwaving it a couple days down the road, 3 days, even when you get to that 5-6 day mark, it can get a little tough and a little devoid of flavor. So what we wanna do is make the chicken extra good. And we're gonna achieve that by creating a special teriyaki marinade and sauce that's gonna make this chicken 10 out of 10 delicious. Here's how that's gonna go down. We're gonna grab a bowl, place it on a food scale, and we're gonna start measuring out our ingredients. The benefit of making things homemade is ultimately they're way better than the store-bought counterparts, but if you're using my methods, you're gonna be able to make stuff just as delicious without all those extra calories. So we're gonna start with 300 grams of low sodium soy sauce. That ends up being 1 whole bottle. We're just gonna pour this right down in. And then next up, we're gonna need 20 grams of rice vinegar. Give it that little pop of flavor it needs. We'll just weigh that out. And then next, to balance out the soy, we're gonna need the same amount or 300 additional grams of chicken cooking stock. If you don't have chicken stock, you can use chicken broth and that'll work just fine. We'll go ahead and weigh this out. And now we want to grab some minced garlic. I love getting a container of this because it lasts forever and gives you a ton of flavor in a lot of your dishes. I want to weigh out 8 grams, toss it down in. And then after that, we want to add another 8 grams of ginger paste. This is going to give our sauce a real nice ginger flavor on the back end, not overpowering, but just enough so the real fans will know she's in there. We need 8 grams in here. And this next ingredient is the most essential when it comes to turning this teriyaki sauce into something something that's bad for you into something that's good for you. Traditional teriyaki, you add a lot of sugar to it, right? But we don't want sugar. It's not doing us any good. But what we're gonna do instead to still make this sticky and thick is use 0-calorie sweetener, more specifically sucralose. A lot of people give 0-calorie sweeteners a bad rap, but I'm telling you, this one, out of all of them, the sucralose, literally to me, tastes a lot like sugar, and it'll do the trick as a direct replacement in a lot of recipes. So if something's ever calling for sugar and you wanna cut the calories down and make it that much better for you, swap it for sucralose. Literally, just try it. And I'm telling you, as far as artificial sweeteners go, this one is the jam. And it's 0 calories. What more could you want? So what we're gonna do is weigh out 40 grams in our bowl. And that might seem like a lot of 0-calorie sweetener, but trust me, this is gonna be fantastic. So what we wanna do now is take a whisk, go in here and whisk everything together till it's all combined and smooth. Here we go. The hardest parts are over. What we want to do now is let this chicken marinate for at least 15 minutes. I'm gonna grab a large freezer-safe Ziploc bag, and I'm gonna go ahead and just toss all of our chicken down inside. And now that we got our 4 pounds of chicken in the bag, what we want to do is take half of our marinade and pour it down in here along with the chicken. We're gonna save the other half as a sauce for later as we cook. So be very careful, making sure you don't spill any, trying your best not to. Eyeball it and get about half in there. And once we got half of it in here, we'll go ahead, get all the air out of it. We want to seal it up, and this is where I recommend you actually spend the extra money and get Ziplocs, because these ones don't leak. I've had other bags leak, and that's not fun for anybody. Bingo, spread it out, let everything get coated, and great. All this really needs is 15 minutes to marinate, but if you're feeling froggy, you can do this the night before, toss this in the fridge, and that chicken's gonna soak up that much more flavor. But if you're in a hurry, this only needs 15 minutes, which is perfect, because that's about how long it'll take for us to get everything else ready. So I'm gonna toss this in the fridge, and I'm gonna return with a massive bag of frozen broccoli. Got this at Kroger. I think we paid like $9 for it. We got a whopping total 3 pounds and 4 ounces, just enough for these meals. So here's how we're gonna prepare these to actually make sure it tastes good. Because if you know anything about me, eating veggies is not my strong suit. They gotta be perfect. But with this method, they're gonna be perfect. So we're gonna start by weighing this out. We need 996 grams of frozen broccoli. That's gonna give us 112 grams or 4 ounces in each one of our meals. And a tip for you guys when you're buying broccoli, notice how all of these have the leafy green heads on them. That's because these are the florets, not sure how to pronounce it, but these are the broccoli florets. If you accidentally buy broccoli cuts, you're gonna be in for a world of hurt because it's less of this and a lot more stem. Pro tip right there, make sure you're getting florets. And now that we got the broccoli weighed out, I'm gonna grab a commercial baking sheet. By the way, if you do a lot of cooking, I recommend picking these up on Amazon. They're twice the size of regular ones, and they friggin' last. If you wanna see the exact model I have all my kitchen gadgets linked in my description. What we're gonna do is take some cooking spray. I'm gonna give this a quick hit. Then we'll just pour the broccoli on here. And then now we just wanna space it out a little bit. Gonna help it cook better. All right, that is looking pretty good to me. If you don't have a big enough baking sheet, you might need to use 2 of them to make sure they're not too crowded. But if you get them about like this, you're gonna be just fine. And what we're gonna do with this broccoli is roast it in the oven. This is my favorite way to eat vegetables. When you roast them, they become softer and they get a lot more flavor, way better than steaming or boiling or any of those other methods. But if you wanna step them up a notch even further, I recommend you season it. Now, we don't gotta make no seasoning from scratch. What I recommend is you go to your seasoning section in your grocery and find a good barbecue seasoning. I'm using Texas barbecue sweet rub. Same thing you'd put on a brisket or pulled pork, except we're gonna put it on here and the end result is fantastic. So I'm just gonna go in and sprinkle our rub on top of our broccoli. And now that we got the broccoli seasoned, we just gotta toss it in the oven at 450 degrees for about 22 to 25 minutes. Pay attention to it while it's in there, set a timer. You'll see it get a little brown on top and you know it'll be good. So we're just gonna slide this in on the middle rack. Boom, boom. Go ahead and set our timer. And now we can move on to the rice, which is even easier. And in order to make perfect white rice, we don't need anything fancy. We don't gotta buy a special brand of rice, nothing like that. We just got plain white rice right here, the big cheap bag you get at the grocery, and that's gonna work just fine. The key to perfect rice, guys, as someone that cooks all the time, having attempted making rice in a skillet multiple times, even if everything is perfect, it just doesn't turn out how you want it, which is why I recommend if you want perfect rice every time with the most stress-free, hassle-free method, pick yourself up a rice cooker. This is an aroma rice cooker, costs $20. And this thing makes perfect rice every single time with no guesswork. I highly recommend if you want to simplify your life, grab one of these. It'll quite literally be a game changer. I have the brands I use in the link in my description box under my kitchen essentials. So once again, we're weighing things out. I'm gonna weigh out 360 grams of white rice in a bowl. Now we'll just dump the rice down in here. And what I love about the rice cooker is we look in here and it literally gives you lines on where to fill the water to. So I'm just gonna watch for that line and pour this in. And now with this, all we gotta do is set it to cook and it'll do its own thing here. We don't gotta check it, we don't gotta do nothing with it. Once it's finished cooking, it'll just warm it and keep it warm for up to 4 hours. That is why I love rice cookers. Now, the chicken is finished marinating and it's time to get to the finish line of this meal prep. This is the final step. What I've done here is taken 2 skillets, preheated them to a medium-high heat, and we are gonna get to cooking. We do not wanna overcrowd these pans, and we want to cook in batches to ensure all this chicken is juicy, flavorful, and cooked right. We don't want it to be rubbery. We want it to taste freaking good and help us lose weight and build muscle at the exact same time. So how this is gonna go down is we're gonna go ahead and hit both of them with nonstick spray. Then we'll grab a handful of chicken and give it a quick fry. Now I pulled the skillet off the stove just so you can hear me. I know it gets a little loud when we're sizzling chicken, but right here, how it looks, this is as crowded as you want it to be. Don't try to put too much chicken in here or it's not gonna work out right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other skillet filled up. We're gonna fry this till it's almost done, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with our extra sauce. Now I stepped out of the kitchen real quick because it is so loud in there. But what we're gonna do now, the chicken that you just saw, the cooked chicken, I'll put a clip right here. That's how it should look. Once it's almost done, we're gonna pour a little bit of our sauce in there, give it a quick scramble with that heat. That sauce is gonna caramelize and create a delicious teriyaki glaze on the outside. So let me show you. So once the chicken reaches here, dump a little bit of our sauce down in. And we're just gonna mix it up, let everything get coated, let that sauce cook down a little bit, and our first batch is gonna be done. Just pulled a batch off the stove. Get down here and check this out. So the key is, right when it's finished, pour that sauce in, cook it on high heat. It caramelizes, makes our pieces of chicken shiny, sticky, and loaded down with flavor. Even when you re-microwave this, it's gonna taste amazing. Let's do a taste test. It tastes like chicken that you get at a hibachi restaurant, like the stir-fry restaurant. When they throw it on the plate, that's what this tastes like. So if you do it right, your meal prep chicken doesn't have to suck. So now that you guys got that method down, I'm gonna go ahead and whip up all of this chicken, and then we'll get to the meal prep portion of the video. And boom, just like that, all of our food is cooked and ready to be sorted into containers. If we take a look down here at this absolute mountain of chicken, you can see how sticky it is. That teriyaki marinade and sauce caramelizes around it, literally makes it perfect, and it tastes like hibachi. If we move over to the rice, this is quite literally perfect. You will never achieve this level of perfection on a stovetop. If you can, I'm gonna call you Jesus. And then we can move over here to the broccoli. The reason I love it is because it's so tender. If I grab a piece right here and I squeeze it, you see it just falls apart. In my opinion, this is the most palatable way to get your veggies in. Plus we seasoned them. These are gonna be excellent. Now, I gotta let you know, to go along with your meal prep, if you want a snack between meals that's gonna taste amazing, taste like a candy bar, and have 21 grams of protein, don't forget you can always check out Anabar, which is quite literally the best tasting protein bar ever created. Our Monster Cookie Crunch flavor that's been sold out for a while will be back in stock on the 13th at 3 p.m. Central, so set your calendars. And for those of you asking about Amazon, we are now available there. If you go there and search it, you're gonna have trouble finding it. So what you're gonna need to do is go to the link in my description. It'll take you right there. If you enjoy it, leave us a review, because that means the world on giving us more exposure on that platform. And as always, you can head over to theanabar.com, use the code RGF10, you're gonna save money, and you're gonna be getting the best tasting protein bar in the world. Now, let's get to sorting these meals out. Sorting these is probably the easiest part of this. I'm gonna start with the broccoli, and all I'm gonna do is put a little bit in each container. I'm gonna be eyeballing it. Since we already weighed everything out at the beginning, there's no need to do it right here. You can if you wanna be super accurate, but at the end of the day, if you're the only one eating these meals, then the calories are gonna balance out no matter what. But I'll start by getting them all as evenly filled with broccoli as I can. And now that we got the broccoli all sorted out, I'm just gonna go in with a little spoon here, grab some of our rice, tuck it down right in the middle, try to eyeball it once again. And then last, but most certainly not least, we got our teriyaki chicken. We're just gonna sort it out as well. And boom, just like that, we have our meals prepped out for the entire week. Let's take a quick look at them, then we'll go over the nutrition. And there we have it. We got all 8 meals prepped and ready to go for the entire week. When it comes to storing these, what I'm gonna have you do is put the lids on all of them, place them in the freezer, and then the day before you want to eat them or the night before, place them in the fridge. Overnight, they will thaw out and be ready the next day. Freezing them right away locks in the same level of freshness that we have right now. Immediately after cooking, your rice isn't gonna get mushy, your chicken's not gonna get rubbery, it's gonna lock it in. That is the #1 pro tip on making this taste good besides just cooking it good. And then in each one of these meals, for the nutrition, we have only 2 grams of fat, 64 grams of protein, 49 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fiber, and 470 calories. We're definitely getting enough protein at 64 grams. The carbs are in a great spot. We're not overdoing it. We're getting in fiber from the vegetables, and we're keeping the fat low at only 2 grams. There's a reason why bodybuilders, physique competitors, people that want to be shredded and lean eat just like how you're seeing it, and that's because it works. Having your meals prepped out and ready to go is one of the most surefire ways to guarantee your results. And when you make the foods exactly how I showed you, where everything actually tastes good, it's gonna make the whole process a cakewalk to follow. And there you have it, folks. It really is that easy to meal prep all of your meals for the week in under an hour. If you're hustling, you're doing things to where they're cooking at the same times, and you're being efficient, there is no way you can't have this done without it even feeling like a chore. And keep in mind, everybody's calorie needs are different, right? Everybody genetically is going to require different levels of calories. A 5'3" female is gonna require different calories than a 6'5" male. Someone that goes to the gym 5 days a week is gonna need different calories than someone that doesn't go at all. So I always recommend you figure out how many calories you need in a day first before you start following any type of program. I think doing this right here is a great place to start for most people, but I always gotta preface that because I wanna make sure you guys are eating exactly how you need to for your goals. If you guys wanna learn how many calories you need in a day, you can always check out any of my YouTube videos where I break it down, any of my MyFitnessPal tutorials, any of the videos where I show you how to make your own meal plan. There's tons of information there that you can use when it comes to constructing your own diet. And if you want everything in one simple to use place to figure it all out, don't forget I have all my recipes, my meal preps, everything from the channel available in my cookbook, which you will find at the first link in the description box. Literally, I know if you follow what's in here, you're gonna see results no matter what. Even if you want a high protein dessert, you want ice cream, you wanna make a cheesecake, you wanna have chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast, you wanna make a pizza, whatever you want, I figured out the best way to make it, the healthiest way, the highest protein way, and it's all here in my cookbook. So I know if you grab it, you're gonna be putting your best foot forward. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's gonna wrap up this video. You guys rock. If you enjoy this type of content, you wanna see more meal preps, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and let me know in the comments below. I'll be picking one random commenter from this video to win a free box of Anabars. So make sure you leave a comment below, no matter what it is. I'll be picking the winner at random and announcing it on my Instagram, so make sure you follow me over there at the Remington James. And last but most certainly not least, make sure you check out the apparel sponsor of the channel, Young LA. Right now, I'm rocking all Young LA. Love the fit, the quality, everything. Head over to youngla.com, use my code RJF, you will save money, and you'll be getting some of the best apparel on the market. Whew. With that, we are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, hope you enjoyed this. Appreciate you guys as always. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I will see every one of you at the next video. See you guys. Boom, 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 baby. We out.